I'm Michael Serafini. Welcome to Pocket Entertainment's Drawn to Comics. This week we'll be discussing overhyped and overrated comics. The first books I'm going to be discussing are by Frank Miller. It's The Dark Knight Returns and The Dark Knight Strikes Back. The Dark Knight Returns is more concerned with being different than being good. It hates Superman, and while the fight between Superman and Batman is cool, there's no real substance there. Also, Batman uses guns, which is kind of against the core beliefs of the character. The Dark Knight Strikes Back is just awful. It shows contempt for both the characters he's writing about and the fans. It feels forced. Batman ends up killing Robin, and it actually devalues The Dark Knight Returns. Our next comic is Marvel's Civil War. It suffers the same fate as a lot of company-wide crossovers in that it has a strong start and a weak finish. The story leading up to it is that the government wants superheroes to register with them. Captain America leads the anti-registration forces, and Iron Man leads the pro-registration forces. The main problem with it is that even if Captain America's team wins, they have nowhere to go. They're still breaking the law. And the pro-registration side, led by Iron Man, is unsympathetic and kind of villainous. It also has a weak ending with Captain America just giving up. Now, there is some good to come out of this. Spider-Man unmasking is great. The reaction of the people in his lives realizing that he's been Spider-Man the whole time is pretty awesome. Norman Osborn becoming the leader of the Thunderbolts, a team of villains sanctioned by the government to track down anti-registration heroes, is pretty cool and leads into some major stuff in the future for Marvel. Overall, it's a good read, but it's way overhyped. And finally, we have Final Crisis, where the world's taken over off panel, and spoiler alert, Batman dies! It's on the cover! First of all, there are far too many delays for a book this many years in the making. It's also more about wrapping up Grant Morrison's Batman storyline than DC Universe as a whole, which is what the Crisis books have always been about. There was also a 52-week event leading up to it that is completely contradicted by the event itself. Monitor Vampire? Are you confused? So am I. As I mentioned earlier, the world's taken over off-panel, but in this book, everything happens off-panel. You also see on the cover, Batman dies, but that's completely undone in the very last page, making this book completely redundant. Thanks for tuning in. Leave all your hateful little comments right down there where I won't read them. I'll see you next week.